Call them fibs, whoppers, or straight up untruths. However you label them, kids are likely to lie somewhere along the course of growing up. This is, of course, concerning to adults and parents alike. But if the caregivers can understand why kids lie and be prepared to deal with the issue, the truth can eventually come out. It's common for kids and adults to lie sometimes, and occasional dishonesty shouldn't be cause for alarm. However, when lying becomes a regular occurrence, it can turn into a significant problem. Hi, I'm Kim Feeney with Butterfly Beginnings Counseling, and welcome to my channel. I am a licensed independent social worker and a registered play therapist supervisor with over a decade of experience helping children and families to lead healthier emotional lives. I'd love to help your family as well, so go ahead, subscribe, and hit the bell for weekly notifications on the latest content. Around the age of 3 or so, your child may already understand what lying is. Children often start lying to cover up actions that they know are wrong. Most parents, however, think children lie to get something they want, avoid a consequence, or get out of something they don't want to do. While these can be and are common motivations, there are also some less obvious reasons why your kids might not tell the truth, or at least the whole truth. If your child is known to lie, then you may not believe them when they are telling the truth. Teaching your child the value of telling the truth establishes the importance of personal responsibility and accountability, trust, and caring. It's important to explain the difference between telling the truth versus telling a lie to your children. Be aware, however, that up until around the age of 4, little children won't fully understand the difference between lies and the truth. You have to balance honesty with compassion, and that's a sophisticated social skill, but you should aim to start teaching it early. If a child thinks that a friend's shirt is ugly, they don't necessarily need to tell them the truth about that. Additionally, talk to your child about what will happen if they are caught lying. Discussing consequences for dishonesty before it happens can sometimes act as a deterrent and will also help you both to know exactly what to do if lying occurs. Also, consider and discuss natural consequences. Explain that dishonesty will make it hard for you to believe them next time, even if they are telling the truth. Remember that old story, the boy who cried wolf? And other people don't tend to like or trust people who are known to tell lies. So here are some common reasons why children might lie. Number 1, they're testing your boundaries. They've discovered this novel idea and they're just trying it out. Just as they do with most kind of behaviors, they push your buttons and push the limits as much as possible, just to see what might happen. They're looking for attention. Children who lack confidence may tell these big, grandiose lies and stories to make themselves seem more impressive, special, or talented in order to inflate their self-esteem and make themselves look good in the eyes of others. On the other hand, some children have too much attention. Children that have anxiety or depression might lie and minimize their symptoms just to get the spotlight off of them. In addition, some kids with ADHD lie without thinking about it. It's just an impulse. Or sometimes they really believe they are telling the truth. For example, a child who really thought they did all their homework and in reality forgot an assignment. If you're looking for more tips to help your child with ADHD, go ahead and grab my free guide, 20 Parenting Tips for Children with ADHD, using the link below in the description. And then finally, of course, there's those little white lies, where in certain situations, parents might encourage children to tell a lie to spare someone's feelings. And in this case, the white lie, kids need to know when to use it and how it falls under the umbrella of normal social skills. So what can you do next? First, it's important to think about the function of the lie. When it comes to attention-seeking lying, it's best to just ignore it. For these kinds of low-level lies that really aren't hurting anyone, but aren't good behavior necessarily, ignoring it and redirecting the behavior to something you know is more factual is going to be the way to go. However, if it becomes a pattern of behavior, go ahead and address it straightforwardly and discourage it from happening again. Something like, hey, this sounds like a story. Why don't you try again and tell me what really happened? It's about pointing out the behavior and then encouraging children to try again. Another component of lying is to avoid responsibility. The kids may want to use lying to work around expectations or to get what they really want. Examples of this include lies of omission, ignoring, or those partial truths, such as a child who may claim to use the bathroom to get out of unloading the dishwasher. They may use the bathroom, but then never return to the kitchen. Use truth checks. Tell your kid, I'm going to walk away, give you 10 minutes, and then I'm going to come back and ask you this question again. You may change your mind and want to give me a different answer. It's just a truth check, and remember, you won't get in trouble. This way, if the child gives you an off-the-cuff answer because they're scared of the consequence or they don't want to disappoint a parent, they have the chance to really think about it and whether they want to lie or fess up without the consequences. Similar to truth checks, you can also give kids a warning. Give them one warning when you're confident you caught them in a lie. It's also helpful to reiterate what the consequences will be for dishonesty. Focus on teaching responsibility and honesty rather than blaming or shaming your child. Keep your tone calm and compassionate. This also helps. If you're angry, yelling, or threatening, your child will feel less comfortable telling you the truth. And of course, obviously, if something is more serious, you can definitely think about a consequence. Give your child an extra consequence when you catch them lying. Like in the case of a child who lies about hitting their sibling, instead of taking away their electronics for the day, you can also give them extra chores to do as well. You distinguish the consequences between the two unwanted behaviors, hitting their sibling and lying. However, you'll also want to make sure the consequences are appropriate and fair. Avoid the temptation to go overboard on punishments. It should be something short-lived, not overblown, and gives the child a chance to get back on track to practicing better behaviors. But how can we help our kids to avoid lying in the first place? Well, to start off, you'll want to keep communication honest and comfortable between you and your child. You want to view lies as skill building. As your child gets older, they're going to test the boundaries and see what they can get away with. And this is how they'll learn consequences. Remember to respond to lies with facts, especially when dealing with children under the age of 3. Let them know that they're facts and lay out the evidence that contradicts their lies. Help your children find a way to deal with certain behaviors. If you catch your child in a lie, let them know that they can tell you the truth. And always remember, if they see you lie, they're more prone to lying. Your child will watch how you respond to things, and if you're lying, they'll think they can get away with it too. And it's okay to let older children know that sometimes small lies can be okay, and teach them the moral consequence of the bigger lies. Let them see how you've been caught in lies and let it be a learning experience for them. Again, let them know that the truth reduces the consequences. You might also reduce the consequence for telling the truth, such as a teen who calls their parents for a ride after drinking at a party may be grounded for 3 days instead of a full week. Parents can also set up their kids to tell the truth by reminding them they don't expect perfection. Instead, say to your child, I'm going to ask you a question, and maybe you're going to tell me something that I don't really want to hear. But remember, your behavior is not who you are. I love you no matter what. And sometimes people do make mistakes. So I want you to think about giving me an honest answer. And remember, give ADHD kids some extra time to think about how they want to respond. Another key place to start is by making telling the truth a household rule. This stresses the importance of honesty and truthful communication, ensuring that your children understand that you value the truth, even when it may be hard to tell it. Comment below and let me know some of your other household rules or values. In addition, we want to role model honesty, which means telling the truth all the time ourselves. And then reinforce honesty in your children. Catch your child telling the truth and provide them positive reinforcement. A little piece of advice on what parents shouldn't do when it comes to lying in their children: don't ever corner your child. Putting your child on the spot sets them up to lie. Remember, remain calm and explain to them why lying is wrong. Also, provide them with the facts. Then encourage them to tell you the story again, but truthfully. Don't label your child a liar. It shames them and may set up a pattern of lying for them. If your child does have a bad habit of lying, develop a plan to help them reestablish trust. For example, create a behavior contract that links more privileges to honesty. When they tell the truth, they'll be one step closer to earning back more privileges. There are times when lying can become a serious problem for children. So if necessary, seek professional help. If your child's lying becomes pathological or causes problems at school or with peers. A child who lies and doesn't have friends is also showing concern. They may feel isolated and lonely. And if your child lies and shows no signs of remorse or guilt, they may have underlying issues as well. All kids will lie occasionally, but it's vital to nip dishonesty in the bud so that it doesn't become habitual. Kids have a variety of reasons for lying, but the most common and worrisome one is keeping out of trouble. Once your child knows that you expect the truth and you consistently back up that expectation with consequences, you're likely to see more honesty in your home. Don't forget to grab my free guide, 20 Parenting Tips for Children with ADHD, using the link below in the description. If you found this video helpful, go ahead and subscribe, give it a thumbs up, and share with a friend. Thank you for watching, and wherever you are in your day, hug your child and make it a great one.